You know, I have really got to, I'm collecting these, so anybody out there who's got other big ones, get them to me, and we're going to sort of, I don't know, we're going to play them from time to time on the air, just for memories. All right, back to David John Oates. David, welcome back.
Hi, hiya. I thought we might move on to straight on to the Clinton sex scandal stuff, if that's okay with you, unless you've got anything else you'd rather move to first.
No. Sex scandal.
Everyone likes sex scandals, don't they?
Yes.
Let's look at a couple of verses on Hillary to start off with. This is her famous interview on the Today Show where she made her comment about a right-wing conspiracy.
Ah, yes.
And here she is talking about some of the accusations that her and Bill have received over the years.
You know, initially, when this first started and I would be accused of something or my husband would be accused of something, I would be really upset.
And just to satisfy some of the people out there who don't want me to prompt beforehand, I'm not going to do this very many times during the program, but I will with this one. This is such a clear reversal. I want to play this out and see if you can hear one or two key words in this, okay?
Yeah, far away.
Here we go.
Hammering it. Hammering it.
Hammering it. What have you got there?
Something, it almost sounded like hammering it, something hammering it.
Exactly correct. It says, evil lips are hammering it. So she actually believes her statement about right-wing conspiracy.
Evil lips are hammering it. Let's hear it again.
Let's run it again.
Evil lips are hammering it.
Oh, yeah.
Evil lips are hammering it.
Evil lips are hammering it. So there you go. No prompting. And you heard it.
Yeah, but let's think about what it says for a second. Evil lips are hammering it. Now, hammering it, that might indicate that she's, in effect, validating that there's something there and it's getting hammered and hammered and hammered. That's the way I would interpret that.
Oh, that's the way I would interpret it, too. Yeah, it's being hammered home. I don't think she's denying, the reversal doesn't deny that these accusations are real, but it's also saying people out there are picking this stuff up and running with it.
It's my view that if all of this is true, I think that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton have an understanding.
Oh, well, I think that's probably so too. And point of fact, there's a couple of reversals that indicate that. Let's look at just one of them. It's a little bit down in clarity, but I wasn't going to play it, but it just illustrates the point you just made.
There isn't any fire, because think of what we've been through for the last 6 years, and think of everything we've been accused of. And you know, initially, when this first started, and I would be accused of something, or my husband would be accused of something.
And backwards, she says, if you wreck, forgive it. In other words, if you mess up, if you cause a problem, I'll forgive this.
Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right.
Okay?
Yep. It sounds to me like if you wreck, I forgive you, or forgive you.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yes, you're right.
Yep.
Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, so there is some understanding, I think, but also, too, a part of her doesn't like it as well. And
sure.
This one here actually caused me, this one touched my heart when I heard it. She's asked about, Bill Clinton made a statement in the 92 60 Minutes interview that he has caused pain in the marriage.
Yes.
And Hillary's being asked to comment on that again.
If he were to be asked today, Mrs. Clinton, do you think he would admit that he again has caused pain in this marriage?
No, absolutely not. And he shouldn't. We've been married for 22 years, Matt, and I have learned a long time ago that the only people who count in any marriage are the two that are in it.
Now, she sounds quite confident forward, but in the reversal, you can actually hear some emotional pain there backwards. She says, I am so used, and you can hear the pain in her voice.
I am so used.
Wow.
I am so used. I am so used.
Okay.
I am so... Boy, you sure can.
Yeah. Do you want... Here, let's run that one more time.
I am so used. I am so used. I am so used.
God, you can hear that so clearly.
Yeah, I know. My heart wrenched out when I heard that one. A lot of people asked me to play Hillary to present the other side of the story, so there we go.
I have one more thing that I want to say.
Yep.
And it is that, I understand that they may have an understanding, which doesn't bother me.
Right.
But the one I feel sorry for is Chelsea.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, she's such an innocent. Here she is at college. Man, it must be rough every day at school.
Yeah. You know, I actually found a reversal on Bill that I don't have to play tonight about Chelsea. Something about, gee whiz, I think the reversal was Chelsea's pain, but it wasn't clear enough to play on the air, so I didn't dump it. But
all right.
So there you go. There you have Hillary. Let's move on to, well, first of all, let's move on to the, I want to play two reversals on the White House Press Secretary, Mike McCurry. This is him commenting on the whole affair right when the whole thing broke. This was 3 weeks ago now, a press conference he gave. He's trying to avoid the issue. He says, you've all got the statement that speaks for itself.
I'm not going to parse the statement. You all got the statement I made earlier, and it speaks for itself.
And backwards he says, damn him, this is ugly and a mess.
Damn him, it's ugly and a mess. Damn him, it's ugly and a mess.
And again.
Damn him, it's ugly and a mess.
the real thoughts of a press secretary.
Oh, yeah, it's like, oh, my gosh, here we go again, almost, you know.
Yeah.
So, and now a week later, he's had a chance to recover from this a little bit, and he's talking to us about some of the strategies the lawyers are making.
I think the president is doing anything in particular behind the scenes, but the lawyers are working to, assemble the material that has to be assembled in response to the Office of Independent Counsel.
And that's when he says, we will solve the mess, and they will get her. And notice the emphasis on the word solve. He's deadly serious.
Well, wait a minute. We will solve the mess, and what?
And they will get her. In other words, they're after Monica. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, so here we go. Notice the word solve. He's really emphasizing this.
We're serial with this, and I both get her. We're serial with this, and I both get her. We're serial with this, and I both get her.
That says we'll solve, not we will solve. So, which brings up an interesting point. Someone actually rang the office today and asked me to talk about on the air reversal checkpoints. I actually have very strict research protocols that we follow through before I will quote any reversal, and one is the syllable count must be correct. In other words, that says we'll solve, which is one syllable, which as opposed to we will solve. I'm looking for spacings at the beginnings, at the spacings between each word.
Sure.
Also, reversals tend to have a definite space out of the gibberish. I'm watching out for the beginnings of endings of words, the consonant vowel sounds, and I'm also looking for that continuous melodious tonal flow that is characteristic for all reversals. So that's just part of the research protocols we follow. There's several others, but I just wanted to get that one out.
All right. The more of that you do, the better off you are, because a lot of people are trying to reach some kind of understanding about reverse speech, and this really explains it.
Right. Yeah. Of course, part of the criticism, too, is the imagination, and unless these protocols are followed, you really, for the new researchers, there is a tendency to want to hear what you want to hear.
Well, that's where I was going. And I think I asked you this last time you were on, but if I were to take a long presidential speech, and I were to sit down with an agenda, and I wanted to make the president look good, and I wanted to spin this thing in reverse so he sounded great, could I do it?
If you're following the research protocols, I really don't think you can. I mean, you're looking for what is there, and I document what is there. I've gone into tapes with the one thought in, because I'm human, I have my own biases, and I've gone into tapes with thinking one thing to find something completely different. That's happened to me on more than one occasion. Not so with the Clinton sex tapes. I must admit I went in with one thought and it was validated.
Same thing everybody else is thinking.
Yeah. But yeah, actually when we come to the Zahi Hawass reversals later on the evening, I've had so many phone calls about this. People are very anxious to hear this, and I've been told about NASA and CIA. NASA's involved in the CIA and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I was looking for that in his reversals and found no reference to NASA, no reference to CIA, and I was trying to find it. So there's one where I was looking for something and could not find it. So
good.
Sorry?
Good, I said.
Yeah.
That's good.
So we'll get on to that when we get to Zahi Hawass.
All right, what about the president himself?
Okay, well, the first reverse I'm going to play is right off the top. It's a pretty rough one to start off with, and I've actually got an appropriate word bleeped out on this. So,
you do?
Yes, I do.
Our president speaks in that sort of language in reverse?
Horrifying, isn't it, Art? Here he is. This is about a minute before his